It's a me, Potato, and I'm back. What's up, everyone? Welcome to the stream. My name is David Sinairo, and the weekend is past, and we are back with Sweet Fuse at your side to finish the route with my greatest husband, though, Subaru Shiro. How's it going, Metal? How are you? How's the weekend? Damn, I feel dirty saying his name. All occidental type, like Shiro Subaru. My Sunday. There was no sun today, but it was fine. I got what did I even do today? I watched a movie and I wrote shit because I'm a fucking nerd. I may or may not be writing a fan fiction. Let's get this out of the way before Throw shows up. It's true. I'm a big fucking nerd. Text messaging Throw already. No. Well, let's pretend I didn't say that. The 6th day dawned and I headed to the lobby after finishing my breakfast like usual. So, I'm assuming you love Persona 4 and the ending, and everything feels empty and soulless now. Man, I want Persona 3 and 5 on PC. When I finished that game, I really felt like I was leaving behind real friends. Like I was saying goodbye to people that meant a lot to me. What a great game. I think that Persona 4 is the best game on PS2 and Vita, obviously. Hello, Arrogance, how are you? And PC? It might be the best game on PC. I mean, it's hard to fight between my two favorites. They're both on PC, so. That's a very hard question. If it's the best game on PC, it's the best game ever made. Sold really well on Steam. I hope so. Man, I really hope that the remaster of Shin Megami Tensei 3 sells well, because I would love it if they remaster Digital Devil Saga 1 and 2. Everyone else was already there. Mitarashi, are you feeling better now? He thumped his chest and grinned. That's great. This is now a PC troubleshooting channel. Absolutely not. Persona 5 Strikers will release on PC at the same time as the other platforms, because Persona 4 is sold really well. Yeah, probably. But at the same time, selling a sequel to a game that you didn't sell before is kind of a stupid move. They should have focused, like, the work that went into porting Strikers to PC should have been put into porting something else. Maybe 3 and then possibly 5. Did Catherine also release on PC? My tum-tum hurts, haven't eaten all day. Go eat! You don't know? Have to do the thing? Don't worry, Metal Crazy won't go anywhere. We're all under lockdown. At least over at Might to see her wrapped around their father's leg. Awesome. They're actually starting to look like a father and daughter. He was so cute. Udabe caught my eye and smiled gratefully at me. Good morning. Ohayo. I smiled back happily. Right. I feel better going into one of these dangerous games when all of us are here and trying to solve it together. And this is all because Subaru keeps us focused on getting out of here. No one had actually said it, but I felt like all of us looked up to him as a sort of leader. I'm sure today is going to be tough, but together we can do it. We asked the piglets to watch over Mai, then headed off to the plaza. The Count appeared to be genuinely amused when he saw us. But he was furious with us after the last game. Worse than I'd ever seen him. How is he suddenly in such a good mood? I swallowed. There could only be one reason he was so happy. He had something particularly horrible in mind for us. I can't remember if I have a Microsoft account. You need one to log into Xbox Live, so yes you do. It's the same email you use for Xbox Live. The password? Just ask for a new one. Hochstein rounded on Shirabe, a glint in his eye. What? You know what they mean? That's right, we never told him. Mitarashi didn't know that Shirabe was investigating that case. Mitarashi looked a bit disgruntled at being ignored. How's it going, Melty? How are you? By the way, I hated this emote. What do you guys think? I think it's great. And it's not Weave, so everyone can use it. Assuming everyone knows where that's from. Watching my favorite VN streamer, also the best Ghost of Tsushima player in this channel. In this channel, I'm the best player of every single game, because I'm the only one. How's your day, Melty? Look, Arrogance. I expect you to compliment me on this emote. So do that instead of the whatever you're doing. Four slices of pizza and took an hour nap? Is it just me, or does pizza make people sleepy? No soup for you, sir. I thought it was a great reference. Really? How's it going, Echo? The screen winked out. We barely noticed. Too stunned by Augstine's announcement.
なんだかわからねえが、今日のゲームをクリアすることには変わりねえんだろ。よし、ここんとこ寝てばっかだったせいで体がなまって仕方がねえ。行くぞ。待て、流星。はあ？
Mitarashi frowned.
お前はここに残るんだ。え、なんで？言葉の意味は、流星、お前。
わからねえな。
Mitarashi glared fiercely at Subaru, but was met with a steely, determined gaze. Subaru pushed on Mitarashi's chest with one finger. Mitarashi flailed his arms wildly and landed hard on his back.
さっきから立っているので精一杯だったようだな。まだ体力が回復していないんだろ。
In a week's worth of calc homework today, try and keep ahead of the pack. Damn. You're the entire pack. A week in a day. Well, at least you never seem to not have homework to do to entertain yourself.
せっかく全員が集まったってのに。
Mitarashi punched the ground. I laid a hand on his shoulder. Please don't push yourself. You should go back and rest.
仕方ねえな。
He wasn't pleased about it, but I could see he knew arguing wouldn't get him anywhere.
やれやれ。よく気づいたな。お前さんの洞察力には恐れ入るよ。まったく。
ま、あの傷がそんなに簡単に癒えるわけはないだろうからな。
It was incredible. We said our goodbyes to Mitarashi and followed the piglet to the day's attraction. Always have something to attempt. So it seems. For better or for worse.
ねえねえ、さっきのあれ、本当なのかな？
Oh, Augustine?
本気かどうかはわからないけどさ、報酬メモの答えが分かったら自首するって。
底意地の悪いあいつのことだ。大方、答えがわからないとでも思ってるのか、単純に俺たちを揺さぶって楽しんでるのか。おい、若さ、目惜しい。お前ら、あの事件のことを本当に何も知らないのか？
バスの事故なんて全然知らないよ。だって10年以上前の話でしょ？
正確には12年前だ。
そしたら僕、まだ3歳だよ。
昨日も言ったけど、僕も記憶にない。
いや、しかしだな。
それより、これから行くアトラクションのことだけど。
Wait, did Miyoshi just change the subject?
元になったのは、動物キャラになって演奏を楽しむバンドアニマルファミリー、楽器演奏ゲームだ。
Band Animal Family, where you play music as an animal character in a band. Seems good.
ソフト1本で8人までセッションができるのが話題になって大ヒットを飛ばしたんだ。
Is he talking faster than he normally does? As we came up to the building, we realized it looked like a giant tree. Around it were plants with instruments growing on them. What is this music? Cute little animals are playing at the entrance. The PA systems hiss, cut off.
アトラクションの見かけに騙されるな。落ち着いていくぞ。
Right. Just like before, a piglet led the way as we stepped inside. We passed down a dark hallway, and at the end there was something like a studio with chairs and instruments in various spots. A big screen hung in the back of the room. Music notes are streaming from the right side of the screen to the left.
まずいな。楽器なんて、俺は生まれてこの方まともに触ったことすらないぞ。
There are weights on top of the instruments? That doesn't look good. Shirobek groaned.
多分大丈夫。このスクリーンを見る限り、リズムゲームと同じ仕組みだから。楽器をうまく弾くよりも、タイミングよく音を鳴らすことが重要なんだと思う。
タイミングか。
そう。スクリーンを流れてきた音符が左端に来て光った時に指定の楽器の音が鳴ればいい。
見た目ほどは敷居は高くなさそうですね。
さあ、今夜の公演に向けてリハーサルだ。まずは担当する楽器を決めようぜ、ベイベー。
The announcer sounded pretty excited.
担当する楽器か。見たところ、種類はギター、ベース、ドラム、キーボードの4つだな。
ボーカルはないの？
Of course he'd be upset, he's a singer. An actual celebrity in a hostage situation. Gosh, the news must be having a field day with this.
ベースは俺が担当しよう。学生の頃に少しかじったことがある。
Wait, you were in a band, Subaru?
悪いか。
No, of course not. Nothing wrong per se, but it certainly wasn't expected.
じゃあ僕はギターで。ギター系のリズムゲームが得意だから。
私はキーボードを担当しましょう。小さい頃にピアノを習わされたのが役に立つかもしれません。
Or not. All I got left now is the drums, but there are three of us. We looked at each other.
お前たち、楽器の経験は
All three of us shook our heads.
3人でドラムを分担か。それなら真ん中がバスドラムとタム、右がフロアタムとシンバル、左がスネアとシンバルを担当するのがいいだろう。
I don't know what any of those are.
そう言われてもさっぱりだ。困ったな。
要はリズムに合わせて鳴らせばいいんだよね。
ああ。で、それぞれの担当だが、おそらく真ん中が一番激しくなるだろう。ドラムはリズムの要になる楽器だ。真ん中はリズム感が一番いいやつが担当するのがベストだ。
Oh,
俺はパスだ。
どうでしょう。とりあえず試しにやってみるというのは。
そうだな。それじゃあ、それぞれちょっと演奏してみてくれ。
we all nodded. What should I do? I'll go first. Yeah, I'll go. I'll raise my hand. I may as well just try it out and see what happens.
やる気は感じられるが、大丈夫か？
I'll try my best. Subaru seemed worried, and his concern ended up being justified.
これはひどいな。
Oh, I should have waited. In the end, we decided that Wakazawa would take the middle position. It seemed obvious in hindsight. Of course, he'd have excellent rhythm. Shinobi claimed he wouldn't be that good, but he wasn't nearly as bad as he thought. So I guess that makes me the worst.
真ん中はトアでいいとしても、このままではまずいな。
I'll do the best I can.
10分くれ。彼女に最低限のことを叩き込む。
Subaru pulled me aside for a crash course in playing the drums.
さあ、一緒にやってみるぞ。ドラムの前に座れ。
Okay. I sat down and picked up the sticks, but as I did, Subaru reached around from behind my back and placed his hands on mine. Oh gosh, he's so close.
よく見て、まずはリズムを体で覚えるんだ。
Right. I watched the streaming notes and started tapping a steady rhythm.
そうだ。ここからピッチが速くなるから難しいぞ。
Subaru is making a move on you. He is. He's husband of material. How's it going, Cyan? How was the weekend? Whoa.
焦るな。ドラムがリズムを崩すと、すべての楽器が調子を崩す。バランサーだということを肝に銘じろ。
Got it. Before I knew it, 10 minutes had flown by. Everyone moved to their respective places and the announcer's voice rang out.
リハーサルを始めるぜ。
Alright, I can do this.
上を見上げてごらん。間違いが30回を超えると天井の奮動が落ちて即ぺちゃんこだ。ファンキーだろ。
Ah. All of our heads whipped up to look at the ceiling. Right above us was a gigantic weight with Hochstein's face on it. They hadn't noticed the weights? Really?
ちょっと待ってよ。そんなのってありなわけ？
見ろ。スクリーンの端にカウント数が出ている。おそ
こりゃまさに死ぬ気でやらなきゃならんな。
さあ、ミュージックスタート。
Oh, the music began before we were ready. As each note reached the left side and lit up, I beat on my section of the drums, trying my best to remember all Subaru taught me. Stay calm, don't panic. I could see everyone straining to play along with the notes. My own palms were getting slick with nervous sweat. If the drums lose the rhythm, everyone will get off the beat. I steadied myself and continued playing. Finally,
よし、やったぞ。
phew. We'd missed plenty of notes, but somehow we'd managed to keep the number under 30.
心臓がおかしくなりそうだよ。もうこんなの嫌だ。
やれやれ。慣れないことをするとどっと疲れるもんだぜ。
少し休憩しましょう。
How are you, Cyan?
ああ、
We all collapsed on the floor, unable to hold ourselves up any longer. I didn't want to ever do that again.
畜生。こんなものをクリアしながら報酬メモの答えを考えろってのか。
Does Subaru have an STI? No, he has an STD. It was very snowy today. Nice. Did you play in the sand, or did you have to go clean it? Damn. Look at that. Making dad jokes like a native speaker. No, because I don't live in a desert. I don't... What is that no to? The playing or the cleaning? The answer was yes. Yes. An impreza. Both because you said sand, not snow. Oh, sorry, I meant snow. Did you play in the snow? Did you go play in the snow, or did you have to go clean it up? Had to clean off my car. Oh, fuck. Shimei scrubbed his hands through his hair angrily. We stayed there until we caught our breaths, then moved into the next room. My heart still feels like it's racing.
命がかかっていたからな。ん？おい、コータ、どうした？
I thought this was rehearsal. There was no death. On the blue, Miyoshi sat back down again, not looking at anyone. What's wrong?
なんでもない。
Just as quickly, he got back up and left the room. What's going on? He's acting weird. The next room appeared to be a dressing room. In the middle was a rack of animal suits, and I could see some fitting rooms in the back. Oh boy.
これはまさかと思うが。
He sighed, and I followed his unhappy gaze to the suits.
本番のステージに向けてみんなでおめかし森の動物になりきっちゃおうぜいやいや
やはりそうか。
That was that then. We'd all be dressing up. There's a bear, a lion, a wolf, a bird, a squirrel, a fox, and a bunny. That's 7, so we've got 1 left over.
一着はみたらしさんの分だったのでしょう。問題は誰がどの着ぐるみを着るかだと思いますが。
よし。じゃあ、俺はライオンだ。
He grinned, grabbed a lion suit, and headed off toward the fitting room. But the moment he stepped into it, was a loud thud, and Shirabe came flying out of the doorway. Is this the first furry shenanigans, or has this happened before? No, it hasn't happened before. Are you alright?
大丈夫だ。試着室の奥の壁がいきなりぶち当たってきて、はじき出されちまった。
Because every attraction is based on a different video game. Whatever had thrown Shirabe out of the room seemed to have knocked the breath out of him
おっ
too.
と言い忘れた。衣装はみんなのイメージにぴったりのものを用意してるから間違えないでおくれよな。
This is Mario Party Hero, Guitar Hero. Kabbalah's Big Game Hunter. No. It's supposed to be like Band Hero, but with animals.
要するに、それぞれのイメージに合った着ぐるみを着ないと試着室から弾き出されるってことか。
うん。イメージ。サキ、お前はどう思う？
Well, I guess I'd have to say Shirabe is probably the bear, Wakaza's the squirrel, and Miyoshi's the fox. Hurabe would be the bird, maybe? I think Mitarashi would probably have been the lion.
俺が狼。
I don't mean it in a bad way, it just kind of fits.
サキちゃんはウサギがぴったりかな。ちょうど余ってるし。とりあえずそれでやってみるのはどう？
Each one of us picked up their outfit. Subaru? Everyone except for him, of course.
まあいい。また俺が確認してみよう。
He hefted the bear suit and headed into the fitting room. There was no thud this time. We all looked at one another, then headed into the other fitting rooms. After a few minutes, we were all back. What the fuck? Oh my gosh, they all look so adorable. I had a feeling that wouldn't be a welcome compliment though, so I kept it to myself. You still need to put yours on. Everybody else has. He stood completely still. Subaru?
断る。はあ？こんな子供じみたものを着るの、俺のプライドが許さない。
Subaru seemed to be embarrassed. Oh man, what am I supposed to say? You have to, or we can't beat this game.
そうだな。危うく本文を忘れるところだった。
His body relaxed a
こ
little.
んなつまらないことで時間を消費している暇はない。
He pulled the wolf suit off the hook and strode gallantly to one of the dressing rooms. A few moments later, he stepped out, dressed as a wolf.
どうだ？
Great, you look awesome. He's trying to look cool, but I can tell he's super embarrassed. But oh man, that is so cute.
似合ってるじゃない。
なんだ、嫌な言い方だな。
そんなことはない。素直に褒めてるよな。
はい。本当に可愛いです。
かわいいだと。
His face turned bright red, and we were all laughing when the announcer began to speak again.
切り株バックヤードクリア。
Oh, that was it? Yes. He leapt back into his fitting room before I could blink.
クリアした以上、このまま進まなければならないわけではないはずだ。
I could hear the elation in his voice even through the fitting room door. We all grinned at each other and headed into our rooms to take our outfits off.
よし、 行くぞ。
Subaru was halfway to the door out when.
ちょっと待って。
What is it? Yoshi seemed strange.
僕は
He looked down at the floor. His face was pale and sweaty.
どうした？何かあるなら言ってみろ。
Yoshi looked up at Subaru and swallowed.
僕は目撃者なんだ。
No one said anything.
あの事故のバスの炎上事故の目撃者だったんだ。
なんだと。まさかお前が目撃者だったとは。確かに目撃証言があったことは知ってる。だが捜査はすでに打ち切られ、捜査資料を見ることもできなかったため、それが誰かまでは突き止められなかったんだ。なんでそんな大事なことを今まで黙ってたんだ。
よせ。
He put a firm hand on Shirabe's shoulder, then stepped toward Miyoshi.
ありがとう。よく言ってくれた。きっと大きな勇気が必要だったろう。
As Miyoshi began to cry, Subaru put an arm around his shoulder. Oh, this is pretty big.
僕は友達の家からの帰り道、たまたまその事故を目撃したんだ。唯一の目撃者だった僕は何度も警察に事情聴取を受けて、でも小児だった僕は怖くて、何も話せなかった。
He told us about how the ultimate verdict was that the bus had crashed because the driver had been suffering from some sort of medical condition.
でも
本当は見たんだ。バスがふらついて反対車線に入る間際にバスに近づく黒塗りの車があった。
そのことを他の誰にも話していないのか。
後日僕を訪ねてきた一人の刑事さんに。でもすでに捜査を打ち切られた後だった。僕は間に合わなかったんだ。
Miyoshi didn't know what to say. I couldn't even imagine the kind of guilt that would give somebody. He lived with that guilt for so long. No wonder he was a little strange. In a way, he's a victim of that crash too.
しかしこれで7人中4人が事件に関わっていたことになるな。
いや、立候補した彼女を抜かせば6人中4人だ。
くそ、こうなると分かってるよ。今朝にでもみたらしに確認すべきだった。
とにかく今はどうしようもない。このゲームを切り抜けることを考えよう。話はその後だ。
ああ、そうだな。それと若さ、こうなるとお前さんも何かしらで事件に関わっている可能性がある。何かを思い出したら必ず言うんだぞ。
わかった。
He nodded meekly. Are you okay?
ありがとう。大丈夫。
He wiped away his tears and nodded. Outside the door was a staircase that led up to a circular stage on the roof of the attraction.
ここが本番のステージってわけだ。
There were a number of instruments set up in front of a giant television screen.
またこのモニターに音符が流れるのか。
Almost as if on cue, the monitor flickered on, displaying a busy seating intersection. Whoa! We're looking down on the crowd, as if we were somewhere high above them. In the top right corner, it said 0 out of 5,000.
君たち全員の演奏で観客をガンガン沸かせよう。制限時間はそう30 minutes。ペナルティはそうステージごとボム。なんだと？
Oh no! As soon as the announcer finished, the clock on screen began to count down.
どうすればいいのこれ。
見ろ、楽器類は背後のステージに向けて配置されている。
You need to impress 100 nobles.
なるほど。私たちの演奏をあのモニターを通じて雑踏の人々に聞かせろというわけですね。おそらくこの雑踏に面したモニターに俺たちの姿が映っているんだろう。
Let's go then. We headed over to the instruments and got ready to play.
レッツショータイム。
今回は練習もなし。
とりあえず俺が知っている曲を弾く。お前たちは適当に合わせて音を出せ。
Right, okay. He nodded and began to play. The rest of us did our best to keep up. Murabe on the keyboard was the only one who could manage to follow along very well.
こんなじゃ点でダメだな。
After what seemed like forever, the song ended and we looked up at the screen. The counter read 52 out of 5,000.
どうやら足を止めてくれた人の数が加算されてるみたいだね。
それって5000人の足を止めなきゃなんないってこと？
分母の数からすればそうだろうな。
Our paltry 52 was looking worse by the minute. Even 100 people seemed like an impossible number.
歌ってもいいならこんなのあっという間なのに。
I think they figured that out. Why do you think they didn't give us a mic?
くそ、せめてもう一人だけでも経験者がいれば。
One more person. If only Mitarashi was feeling better. I wish Mitarashi was here.
俺も同じことを考えていた。奴ならこんな時、なんとかしてくれそうだからな。
Save's coming, of course. I don't want to get a bad ending and have to restart the game. On the first day, nobody had trusted anyone else, but now, too bad Mitarashi is still sick. That was when I heard it.
随分チャチなライブじゃねえか。
What?
待たせたな。このバカでかい切り株を登るのに手間取っちまった。
Who's Mitarashi?
切り株を外からよじ登ったな。むちゃくちゃだな。
I do the same thing with Phoenix. Well, of course.
むちゃくちゃでもなんでも来て欲しかったんだろ。
He grinned and snatched up one of the guitars.
いけるのか。
おや。それに一人で待ってるのも暇だったんでな。レストランでしこたま飯食ってきた。エネルギーは満タンだぜ。
Subaru put down his own guitar and picked up a
よ
bass.
し、行くぞ。
They nodded to one another and started to play. Each one reinforced the performance of the other. They were awesome, and the rest of us struggled to keep up. At the end of the song, the number on the screen had risen to 328. Our two stars kept on playing, and after 20 minutes, it was up to 1,000 to 1479.
ダメだ。このままじゃ全然足りない。
What should we do? I was trying desperately to come up with any idea when a familiar voice echoed over the PA. Best thing about this PC, no loot content embedded from my interweb browsing. What? But even as he spoke, the number of spectators suddenly began to increase. What? What's going on? More and more of the people in the street were looking up at us and pointing. He started playing with renewed vigor, and with 3 minutes left, our number hit 3801. I don't know what you read, but that didn't sound like what I typed. Best thing about this PC. No loot content embedded from my interweb browsing. Heck. I don't know what you mean with loot content embedded. Your temp folder must be a nightmare. No, I delete the temporary files like pretty often. No, I have something that cleans it. I have like a PC cleaning thing that cleans my shit for me. This sounds like the start of a Fallout Boy song. It kept climbing faster and faster, and 5 seconds before the time limit ran out, it hit 5,000. When time was finally up, we got the attention of 5,017 spectators. You can't.
屋外円形ステージクリア。
よっしゃー。一体何が起きたんだ。
Everybody's watching us. If I look closely, I could see that a lot of people watching were also carrying smartphones.
ステージ6を完全クリア。報酬アイテムを入手しました。
Was that like, no, it's not possible, or you don't want me to? I don't want you to. It is possible. I can just stream the monitor cleaning. With that, the screen flickered off. Who was? Oxy seemed just as confused as we were. Then a voice broke the silence. Yoshi was looking down at his phone and grinning.
僕らはたった7人で戦ってたわけじゃない。外にいるみんなが助けてくれたんだ。
どういうこと？
Instead of responding, he just flipped his phone around to show us what he'd been looking at.
こりゃブログか？
僕のブログだ。僕はこのゲームに巻き込まれるまでこれを毎日更新してた。ネット上で格闘神と呼ばれている僕のブログは1日数千のアクセスがある。そのブログがゲームの日から更新が止まってるんだ。お前がゲームを宣言し、僕たちを指名したのはテーマパークのオープニング会場だった。観覧車が爆破された混乱の最中でも僕らの顔を覚えててくれた人たちがいたんだ。彼らは 街灯のオーロラビジョンに映った僕たちを見てゲームだと気づいた。そんな彼らがどうしたと思う？
He flipped down to the comment section of his blog. There were a lot of
コメン
comments.
トいくつあると思う？1万を超えてるんだ。
1万？すげえ。何かあったんすか？更新止まってますけど。テーマパーク行った知り合いから聞きました。格闘神が戦ってるって。頑張れ。超頑張れ。ネットで情報拡散してます。格闘神捜索スレッドから来ました。現地から書き込み中。信号無視してわざと渋滞を起こしてます。みんなの足を止める。これは。
そうか、みんな俺たちのことに気づいて立ち止まってくれていたのか。
目押しのブログを見ていた人たちとテーマパークに居合わせた人たちがネットを介して結びついたってのか。そしてその情報は掲示板やブログなんかで爆発的に拡散した。まさにネット文化様々だな。
Gosh, I never would have guessed.
わかるかい？お前のゲームは僕たちだけじゃなく外にいるみんなの力で破られたんだ。僕は何一つしてない。外にいる彼らが自発的に動いてくれただけさ。
そんなのひどいよ。
What? That's ridiculous. We didn't break any rules. We beat that game fair and square, and he's just being a sore loser. Rules are rules. We didn't break any rules, and we beat your game, so deal with it. Spit out the words and disappeared.
やれやれ。しかし今回は本当にダメかと思ったな。ああ。
You really would have been in trouble if it weren't for all those people out in the city. I felt bad that I couldn't thank them in person.
あれ、そういえばメアド交換した時普通の携帯使ってなかった？
スマートフォンと携帯の2台持ちなんて今時普通さ。
He grinned.
おい、みたらし。あと一緒に外に出る前に確認したいことがある。あ？俺？お前さん、この金同士で12年前に起きたバスの炎上事故のことを知ってるか？あ？ああ。俺の両親はその事故に巻き込まれて死んだ。それがどうかしたか？なんだと？
We quickly explained that, except for me and Wakaza, everyone seemed to be connected to the accident somehow.
なるほどな。けどよ、仮に全員が事故に関わってたとして、それはまだわからない。
とりあえず今日の報酬メモを確認しよう。
ああ。
We opened the treasure chest and found a piece of paper that said M2 on it.
M2？
浦部をたぶらかし、調べさんをここに呼び出した奴のハンドルネーム。そしてそれはワルドブーのことでもある。とするとメモの答えはワルドブーの正体か。
ああ、おそらくそうだろう。が、しかしだ。これだけじゃ正体を推測しようがない。
we still don't have enough to figure it out. Do you think we missed something?
もしかして3日目の報酬メモに何か大きな手がかりが隠されていたんじゃないでしょうか。
Everyone gasped. If we were missing the final piece of the puzzle, that note had likely been it. Alright. Then I remembered what Count Augustine had said the morning of the fourth day. After yesterday, I can breathe a little easier, so maybe I'm just feeling magnanimous.
その言葉、確か奴が言った。
そうか。もしあいつが報酬メモがどれだけ参加者の手に入り、いつ自分の正体に気づくかを楽しんでいたとしたら、そしてそれを私の方のゲームと表現したのだとしたら、全て合点がいく。
Everything was starting to come together.
もしそうなら3日目に僕たちが死ななくても構わない。なぜならそれ以降もゲームを楽しみたいから。クリアを失敗させて最も大事な報酬メモさえ手に入れさせなければ自分の正体はバレないんだ。
なるほどな。俺たちの命をもてあそぶゲームと報酬メモで自分の正体がバレるかどうかのゲーム。奴は2つ同時に楽しんでたってことか。あの毒され系動画。
It's horrible. I'm not gonna let him get away with this.
冷静になれ。今は奴の正体に迫る方が先だ。流星、何でもいい。お前の両親が巻き込まれた事故に関して、奴の正体に関わりそうなことはないか。
Itarashi frowned thoughtfully and was silent for a moment.
バスに乗ってた乗客で生き残ったのはたった一人。俺の母親が命を助けた子供だけだったらしいぜ。それか。
At almost the same time, Augustine's voice exploded from the speakers.
時間切れか。
仕方がない。
The ladder down had appeared when we beat the game, so we headed down over toward it. What's wrong?
ごめん。ちょっと考え事してた。
He shook his head and went to climb down the ladder. I thought he'd be all scared and stuff, but it seems like he's totally fine. Is he the kid that was rescued? The moment we reached the bottom, the pig started talking again. There was an edge of cruel excitement to his voice.
やっこさん、俺たちに考える暇を与えたくないようだな。
It's okay.
頼む。ああ。
Everyone nodded. Everyone except Wakaza, who was deep in thought again.
報酬メモの答えは、お前の正体だ。
He was shaking, visibly.
あの事故で流星の母親に助けられたこと。炎上したバスのたった一人の生き残りだ。
He let out an extremely odd shriek and froze in apparent terror. Was that it? We looked back and forth at one another for a long moment before Wakaza spoke up. Welcome back, Metal.
そうか。それ、僕のことかも。
なんだと？
僕、小さい頃に命を助けられたことがあるんだ。本当に小さい頃で全然覚えてないんだけど、母さんから聞いたことがある。僕を助けてくれた女の人は、その後亡くなったって。
それはバスの炎上事故だったのか？
そこまでは知らない。でも気になってたんだ。確か何日か前の夜、みたらしさん言ったよね。
あ
子供は笑顔が一番だって。
もう、まあ確かに言ったけどよ。
その言葉、僕の一番大事な言葉なんだ。僕を助けてくれた人の最後の言葉だから。
He doesn't remember the crash, but remembers what she said.
なんだと？
あの時は偶然だと思ったけど、さっきのみたらしさんの話で、もしかしてって。
お前が母さんの。
His eyes grew wide as he looked at Waka's.
そうか。お前が。
Mitarashi threw his arms around the surprised Wakaza and hugged him as tight as he could. What? There was a soft click and he was gone. We just stood there dumbfounded.
真相を知る唯一のチャンスを逃しちまった。
He dropped to his knees and slammed both fists into the ground. He looked so upset. None of us knew what to say until Subaru moved over to stand in front of him.
立て。絶望するのはまだ早い。ただ単に今日でゲームを終わらせることに失敗しただけだ。
バカだ。真実を逃しただけじゃない。奴を自首させることもできなかったんだぞ。
明日最後のゲームをクリアして奴を直接追い詰める。そしてその時こそあなたが追っている事件の真実を明らかにするんだ。
His voice was calm, but I could hear steel in it.
そうか。そうだな。ここでしょぼくれても何の意味もない。今までだってこの程度の絶望は何度も乗り越えてきたんだ。
He shook his head and ran his hands quickly through his head, then stood up and took a deep breath.
そうです。全員でクリアしましょう。そして誰一人欠けることなく生き残るんです。
俺はワールド軍のやつに一発ぶち込まないと気が済まね
え。ようやく魔王の城の前まで来たんだ。あとは僕たち勇者が魔王を倒すだけだ。
なんか悪いことしちゃったみたいだね。でもこの7人が力を合わせればきっと大丈夫なんじゃない？
Hello, Thro. How's it going? Of course we will. Of course we will. Together we can do anything. We looked at each other and smiled. 6 days ago, a statement like that would have been hilariously misplaced, but now it felt right. We've gone through a whole lot, but it's made us friends. The final game's gonna be easy with this team. We can do it, no sweat. We headed back to the restaurant to get some takeout for dinner. Once we got our dinner, we sat at the big table until the hotel arrived. Gosh, everybody looks really tired. Mitarashi was sprawled across the table, snoring. I glanced over at Subaru. What's up with a smug smirk? You being smug makes me nervous. I'm about to be annoyed by some weeb shit. No, you're about to be annoyed by Discord. But Thro, I have good news for you. Platinum number 99 has been achieved. Must have been looking over too, because our eyes met. Whoa, I didn't expect that. I tried to think why he might be looking at me, but with my eyes locked on his, I found I couldn't think clearly about much other than them. What is Plat 100 going to be? It's Final Fantasy X. What horror awaits you? It's arrogance building a PC. Spoiler. Suddenly I felt a powerful urge to talk to him about anything. What had happened at the park, each other, the weather. But what could I say? I opened my mouth but nothing came out. Besides, everyone else is here right now. With no other explanation, Subaru stood up and left the restaurant. I stood up quietly and followed him out. Perhaps it was because they were all tired, but nobody said anything as I left the restaurant. The night breezes felt cool and relaxing, and I followed Subaru outside. Oh man, I hope he didn't just want to be by himself. He didn't tell me to go back though, so I figured I was okay. We walked in silence for a while, and even though we weren't talking, it felt nice. Maybe I just like hanging out with him.
いよいよ明日で最終日だな。
Time to send Arrow Gag Games on Steam. Right. I jumped a little when he finally spoke.
今日のアトラクションでもうダメだと諦めかけたとき、心の底から怖いと思った。
Metal, only I understand that emote. Oh, I can't see it. Fuck. So for you non-Portuguese, that emote that Metal Crazy used is the presenter of Portugal's The Price is Right. Oh, what did I do? Oh no. My mouse. Oh dear God, indeed. Oh fuck. Tangled up my mouse in my foot. The Drew Carey of Portugal. Tuna is right. Yes, indeed.
Cage をやる中で危険な目にもあったし、死にそうな瞬間だってあった。それでも今までこれほど怖いと思ったことはなかった。なぜ俺が怖いと思ったか。
Is he for the Bob Barker treatment of animals? I don't know what that means. He's just a really, really outrageous personality. But he's family friendly, so I'm not sure what you might be saying. Louis always asked to spay or neuter your pets at the end of every episode. What is spay? But no, he does not. Because you weren't alone?
仲間を失うことを 前を失うことを怖いと思ったんだ。
Subaru.
自分でも気づかないうちに仲間として以上にお前のことが大事になっていたのかもしれないな。
Another term for fixing male cats or dogs? Okay, okay. But yeah, he doesn't do that, no. But I haven't watched in a long time, so who knows? Oh my gosh, my heart is beating so fast. Why am I so excited? He smiled.
最終日のゲームはおそらく最も過酷なものになるだろう。明日は俺の命に変えてもお前を守る。
Oh my god, he protect. Omae wa mamoru. What should I do? I have to say something. We've lost Arrow, the pricey high-end Fortnite crowd. You'll be missed, sir. I hope you enjoy Among Us. Indeed. Don't say that. Meanwhile, I get the platinum while I'm streaming a PC game, or not a game on PC, but not a PC game. I still go for platinum trophies in games. What? Don't say even if it means my life. I don't want you to die. For a long moment we were both silent.
そうだな。
He nodded.
俺は死なない。必ずお前と一緒に生き残る。だから何があっても俺を信じてついてきてくれないか。
I said, in the meantime, I'm streaming a game on PC, but that doesn't stop me from, in the free time, going and getting some trophies, because I can't quit that PlayStation. He looked straight into my eyes. Oh man, I can't look away when he does that. His face was close to mine now. Really close. Oh my god, we're gonna kiss. He even took off his glasses to kiss me. Could have fooled me. I haven't since seen a PlayStation game on this channel since 1995. Yeah, Steam achievements don't count. At least Xbox achievements count towards something. His lips pressed softly against mine. I closed my eyes.
Sate, もうじきホテルが到着する時刻だな。
Right. With that, we turned around and walked back the way we'd come. When I got back to my room, I yawned and stretched. Tomorrow is the last day. We're almost there. We might die tomorrow. Let's fuck today. It had been a long, difficult week, but we'd pulled together and done what had to be done. Without Subaru, though, we'd have really been in trouble. I knew I needed to rest, but excitement of knowing that we were almost done kept me wide awake. A walk might help me calm down. I wonder if everybody else has gone to bed already. There was so much bottled up inside me. If I did happen to see someone, a long conversation sounded pretty good.
まだ起きてたのか。
We were just together, though. Subaru? There he was, relaxing in the lobby. Are you drinking coffee?
黒子が入れてくれるというのでもらうことにした。どうだ、お前も。
They said they had coffee. How? Sure. He beckoned one of the piglets over and said something to it while I fidgeted and looked around nervously. In a few moments, I was back with a steaming cup. Huh?
どうかしたか？
This isn't coffee.
実は俺がホットミルクにしてくれと言っておいたんだ。
I don't want hot milk, that's disgusting. Why did you do
寝
that?
る前だからな。カフェインよりミルクがいいだろ。
He was grinning. But you're drinking coffee. Are you gonna be
いい
okay?
んだ。慣れているからな。
I want to get used to it too. Well, I mean, if I don't drink it, I'll never get used to it, and I kinda want to drink the same things you do. Oh man, what was that? I just started rambling. Well, they made me milk, so I'll drink milk for now.
ちょっと待て。
Huh? My milk was already halfway to my mouth, but Subaru was quick and nimble enough to pour part of his coffee deftly into my cup.
俺はコーヒーはブラックでしか飲まない。いきなり一緒というのは多分きつい。だからまずはミルクを混ぜて飲むといい。徐々にコーヒーの量を多くしていって、いずれは同じものを飲め。
Oh, okay. Wait, is he saying... I lifted the cup to my lips and drank as quickly as I could in an attempt to hide the red on my cheeks. Oh gosh, he wasn't kidding. It's kinda bitter. Even though it was still mostly milk, I could taste the strong flavor of the coffee. Subaru had been right. I wouldn't be drinking black coffee for a long time. Then someday, we'll drink the same coffee. Maybe by then I'd be more... cool? I watched him calming, sipping his half-empty cup, and felt a little bit of sadness. Still, it was nice to sit there with him, and for a little while I forgot all about the game. We gotta kick butt tomorrow. If we screw up, my uncle could be in real trouble. Not just him, everybody. I sent off a quick text message to Uncle KG about how we were almost there. Save you, Uncle, I promise. With that, I lay down and closed my eyes. What is just a dream? But now it's time for the final act. Just watch. Like once this cat stops being in heat, wow. You guys all hate children. Alright. Day 6 is done. We're starting the last day, which is day 7. And I'll go take a quick break before we tackle it. I can confirm there was no child, none of the human variety anyway. Maybe it was a spectral child, a dead child. Who knows? I'll be right back, guys. Don't forget to ban arrogance for being a PC nerd. Oh boy. I really look forward to this alternate future where I'm a League of Legends player. I haven't touched the PC since 2012. Trust me, life is better without one. Really? You don't work on a PC? MacBook, my dude, life's pretty good when you can do your job from inside a pool. Okay. Fair enough. I never played League of Legends, and I don't plan to. This is the last time I'll see this room. Made me a little sad. I'd only been there a week and it had been a stressful week, but I'd gotten kind of attached. Thanks for everything. After a moment of surprise, the piglet responded with a series of gestures that seemed to mean, oh no, don't worry about it. I've gotten pretty good at understanding them, huh? Well, maybe. Really, I was just guessing at what they were probably saying, based on whatever I'd said. My phone dinged and I looked down to see I'd gotten a text from my uncle. He's always so positive. I smiled and with renewed determination sent off a quick reply. Gonna end this whole thing today. Can't beat a MacBook, good luck with your Microsoft Surface. Yeah, I don't like the compact stuff. All my laptops had really short lifespans, so desktop is the only thing I want. Subaru was talking with the piglet in the lobby.
Ah, そうだな。よろしく頼む。
You will like the spin-off League of Legends game that is JRPG turn-based single-player game? Sure, I might even play it if it's on console. The piglet said something and moved off out of the room. It actually looks good. Morning. So, what was that about? Is everything alright?
俺たちがここで暮らすのも今日で最後だからな。
Think Riot will release it on consoles too? I think so, yeah. But yeah, soon enough, everything in gaming will be League of Legends spin-offs and Microsoft Game Studios. Wait until they buy Nintendo. Yeah, who knows? I mean, sure they were left out of the room last time, but at some point, the money is so high that, I don't know.
聞いたところ、俺たちがこのホテルを出た後、彼らも一通り掃除をしてからここを出るらしい。かなり完璧にサポートをこなしてくれていたが、彼らは別にホテルで勤めた経験があるわけではないそうだ。
Is that what you were asking about? Looked like you were having a real conversation. Wow, there's a lot of typos in the end of the game.
毎日コミュニケーションをとっているうちに分かるようになったんだが、お前はそうでもないのか?
Yeah, let's keep it that way indeed. Shout out to the last time they tried getting a presence in Japan, and now Lost Odyssey is stuck on Xbox 360. One of the best games ever made. Stuck on 3 generations ago. On a console 3 generations ago. Also, From Software's Otogi, which was never backwards compatible. I just spit out my water, thanks Davey. You're welcome. Do you have a problem with Lost Odyssey?
もし忘れ物があれば広場まで届けてくれるそうだ。
Well, I guess Moishi isn't the only one who's figured out their Miyoshi figured out their weird sign language. I was thinking that I'd probably overestimated my own grasp of the Piglet language when the rest of our team walked in, with Mai and Shirabe hand in hand.
みんな揃ったな。
In general, no. One of the best games ever made. You're a funny dude. I really loved that game.
およ。
今日で最後だ。覚悟はいいな。
He looked slowly across our assembled faces, meeting each person's gaze.
行きましょう。
とっとと済ませちまおうぜ。
終わらせよ
う。すべての謎を解き明かし、ここから脱出するぞ。
Okay.
俺たちは生き残る。誰一人欠けることなくだ。行くぞ。
Still, it is a shame that that game is stuck on Xbox 360. With a cheer, we headed for the hotel exit. Just to be safe, we left Maya with the piglets at the restaurant and headed toward the main plaza. As soon as we arrived, he was waiting for us, or at least his voice was. What? Even if I'd managed to figure out what the piglets meant, the count was still a mystery.
心にもないこと。
He frowned.
このゲームをクリアできたら、モニター越しではなく、直接お前に合わせろ。
Then with a click, he was gone. Our bonds will be tested. Maybe we have to kill each other.
今さら何があっても、私たちの絆は揺るぎはしません。
It would be fitting if the last one is like a fighting game where we have to kill each other. Fight to the death.
よし、対戦格闘アリーナに移動しよう。
We all nodded and made our way toward the final attraction. Satrao, how
今日
annoying.
のアトラクションの元になったゲームだけど
are the equivalent to the screwball / taskmaster challenges in Miles Morales. Mitarashi was practically jumping up and down with excitement. He'd spent the last several days cooped up, but now that he was out, he was bursting with energy.
よし、任せとけ。今日のアトラクションはだな。円卓コロシアムナイツ4だ。
Miyoshi sighed.
元になったのはアーサー王伝説をモチーフにした対戦格闘ゲームで、アーサー王が死んだ後、灼熱の魔界と化したキャメロットを舞台に、12人の円卓の騎士が聖剣エクスカリバーをめぐって戦いを繰り広げるって内容だ。
No spoilers, but you don't need to worry. Yay. I mean, Taskmaster was pretty good. Screwball was fucking awful. So, the evolution was bad. That's why I asked. Because Screwball was after Taskmaster.
チャクラって弱点をつくことで大技が出せる爽快感が受けて大ヒットしたんだぜ。
まあ、教えたのは僕だけどね。
どうでもいいだろ、あんなことはよ。
メオシ、確かお前さん、対戦格闘ゲームが得意だったな。頼んだぜ。
任せて。
He nodded, a bit more confident than
こ
usual.
のゲーム、僕が格闘士って呼ばれるきっかけになったゲームなんだ。
What? Don't need to perfect anything like that for a mouseplant, you'll be fine. Nice. Well, I guess he's got a good reason to feel confident then. Yeah, just like Taskmaster.
頼りにしているぞ。
I never got the 100% back on Spider-Man because of the screwball challenges. There's one that I can't do. As we reached the attraction, the sky got dark and clouds began to gather.
あん渦巻くアトラクションだ。いかにもラストっぽいじゃねえか。
The building in front of us looked like an old broken down coliseum. A sword and scabbard made a huge X over the entrance. Is that Excalibur? I barely had time to think that when Count Oxteen's voice echoed across the courtyard. Several piglets appeared to guide us in. On the other side of the door was an indoor arena decorated in a medieval European style. There was a sort of a stage in the center of the room surrounded by an amphitheater-style seats filled with piglets.
やれやれ。大入り満員だな。
とはいえ、こんなにいるのに誰も一言も喋らないから。
Yeah. Even when they were just there to be an audience, apparently the piglets were still on duty.
円卓の騎士たちよ。聖剣の栄誉に群がる浅ましき者どもを打ち倒し、エクスカリバーの元を目指せ。
Oh, look at the size of on those guys. One of the 3 huge piglets that had just appeared climbed up onto the stage and strapped on gloves and shin guards.
どうも上がってこいと言っているようだな。
See? If this... Like, I like this game, but I feel like the stakes are very low. The final... Like, if they made it all alive, all of them are alive at the end, and they were all super happy because they were all alive at the end. The perfect foil here would be, no, now you have to fight each other to the death, and that's how you pass. But hey, not everything can be evil like Danganronpa. I think he's telling us to come on. No, he said it.
面白い。本物を殴り合いってわけか。ここは俺の出番だな。
Really? He cracked his knuckles, grinned, and leapt up onto the stage.
気をつけろ。おそらくただの殴り合いじゃないはずだ。
おうよ。
So do you think anyone in chat has any clue what's happening in the game? It's like the Piglet had done. Mitarashi strapped on gloves and shin guards. I don't think he's really all healed yet. I hope he'll be okay. I realized I was holding my breath and forced myself to let it out.
急所を見極めチャクラをついて倒せ
Well. Seems like a normal day. As soon as the announcer finished, a huge screen flickered to life. On it were the outlines of 2 human bodies. I've watched you play for hours, but I don't speak Japanese, and if you think I'm reading the subtitles, you've been eating paint chips? No, I don't think you would. Very happy for your Japanese audience, though. I don't think this game even has audio options. Voice? No, I can turn the voices off. But I can't, Yeah, but it's not dubbed. The piglet silhouette had a star on its stomach, and Mitarashi had one on his shoulder. On top of the screen, each had a bar for their health. Turn off the voices? How dare you not give a thought to your Japanese audience? I didn't turn it off. Just the way David wants it, forces the weeb into them, no opting out for those who want to dub. No, I'm all for options. To each their own. I don't want to be forced to play in a language I don't want to, so why would someone else be forced to? They didn't even give us a chance to figure out the rules before the fight started. Mitarashi charged, his fist flew straight for the piglet's face. But it dodged lightly around this punch and reached out to gently tap one of Mitarashi's shoulders. Mitarashi? He screamed horribly and fell to his knees. His back arched in pain as far as it would go. A full third fell off Mitarashi's health bar. David would play American games in Japanese if he could. Yes, but I know what you mean with Ghost, but I played Resident Evil 2 in English because it's set in the US, right? So it balances out. Haha. Haha. Where's Final Fantasy VII set? In another world? Why didn't you play in their native language? I did. It's Japanese. There's only one game where you actually have this particular argument, which is Monster Hunter, that has its own made up language that sounds like Japanese but actually means nothing. Just you wait. The more you make that joke, the more likely it is, and it's going to be bad for everyone. I do want to play Witcher in English, please. Please. I've heard so many great things about the voice actor. He shook his head and blinked hard, then climbed to his feet.
そうか。チャクラだ。ゲームと同じなら、あの星が互いの弱点になる。
Horizon is set in the US. It doesn't count. Spoilers. You didn't know that going in? Well, I predicted it, because I am great at predicting shit. Throw. I played one Western game in Japanese, and it's set in Japan. I also played Japanese games in English that are set in America. So it's all perfectly legal. To yourself, you were like doing fuck off. I'm not lying. Did I or did I not play Resident Evil 2 in English? There was an option, because I remember. Like, I'm not saying Metal Gear Solid, because there's no option. Why didn't you play Horizon in Dutch? Because I didn't want to. Doesn't it all come down to that? The star on Mitarashi's shoulder moved down to his stomach.
映像の星と同じ場所を攻撃されると電流が流れる仕組みになっているようだ。
What zaps him?
なるほどな。
He threw another punch, but the piglet dodged that one too and lashed out with its foot. So you admit it just comes down to you're full of shit, and all your excuses as to why you play in Japanese just comes down to a fetish. I mostly do what I want, but I do consider where the game came from. If it was, for example, South Korean, I'd still do South Korean. Horizon 2 in Dutch. But I don't want to. That's the gist of it. And it's set in the US. He cut the piglet's foot with his elbow and managed to avoid the main force of the blow, but the very tip of the foot brushed against his stomach. No! His whole body convulsed again as he collapsed to the floor. His health bar dropped again, down to a single third.
殴り合いじゃない。星の触り合い。腕っぷしよりもフットワークと反射神経の勝負だ。
だいたいつかめたぜ。
He stood up again, but he was starting to look a little wobbly. The star had moved to his right breast.
ただ突っ込んでもダメだ。頭を使え。許せ。
But Mitarashi didn't hear or didn't care, and leapt straight toward the piglet, his fist out. Oh no! Just as before, his opponent dodged easily and struck at his weak point. Mitarashi's health bar dropped again, almost to 0, but
待ってたぜ。
forcing himself to ignore the pain of the electric shock, Mitarashi grabbed both of the piglet's arms. He slammed his hand into the surprised piglet's face with a sickening crunch. He toppled to the ground, unconscious.
肉を切らせて骨を断つってな。
Yes! That was dumb. As far as we could tell, a KO meant the piglet had lost despite having a full health bar.
すごい。星に関係なく強引に勝っちゃった。
まあ、ある意味頭は使ったが。
Yeah, that was dumb. Mitarashi's movements were a little shaky as he made his way down off the stage and back to us.
お疲れさん。気をつけろ。多分ガキどもなら一発で伸びちまうほど。
Mitarashi? He'd already collapsed to the floor unconscious. I ran over to him as the second piglet stepped up onto the stage. Who's going to go next?
僕だ。前にも言ったけど、反射神経には自信がある。それに、どう戦うべきか、このゲームに慣れてる僕にはわかる。
いやしかし、お前の反射神経どうこうじゃない。あまりにも危険だ。
でも目押しさんって格闘神なんでしょ。任せちゃってもいいんじゃない。
まあ確かに。この中で一番可能性があるのは目押しかもしれん。
Subaru looked over at me and I could see uncertainty in his eyes. What should I say? We have to trust him.
確かにそうかもしれないな。
He sighed.
俺たちはチームだ。互いを信頼し、みんなの力を合わせて危険を乗り越えるべきだ。
He gave Miyoshi's shoulder an almost fatherly squeeze.
お前に任せたい。
Miyoshi climbed slowly up to the stage. After he'd finished putting on his gloves and shin guards, another silhouette appeared on the screen. This time the piglet's star was on his shoulder, and Miyoshi's was on his left leg. You can do it, Miyoshi! The piglet started to move immediately, its feet dancing back and forth as it circled, but Miyoshi just stood there. Clashed out with a powerful kick, but Miyoshi dodged it easily like he was just playing some sort of rhythm game.
出た。忍者ステップ。
Apparently he'd named that particular step after watching Miyoshi dash down the corridor of hate on the first day. A throw wall. The piglet's body language became more agitated and it struck again and again, but Miyoshi dodged every one with ease. What did David do? Nothing. Its frustration clearly mounting, the piglet's attacks became more desperate until finally it left itself open. Miyoshi ducked in and tapped its shoulder. Well, the Assassin's Creed actually has lore inside it, why things are translated to English, so yeah. That does not apply, see? Endless lies? It's, you know it's true. You're the Assassin's Creed nerd. Its frustration clearly mounting, the piglet's attacks became more desperate, until finally it left itself open. Miyoshi ducked in and tapped its shoulder. Remember a quote in that game? Why is everyone speaking modern English? Do you know how to read Beowulf in its original language? Right. With a shudder, the piglet fell to the floor. Nailed fire over the piglet's silhouette, dropped by a third. It shook its head and moved to get up. But...
悪いね。でもこれはスポーツじゃない。ダウン追撃は格闘ゲームの初歩だ。
He lunged in, and before the piglet could scramble out of the way, touched the leg the star had moved to.
KO!
やった
圧倒的だな。
Gosh, they don't call you Ares for nothing. He didn't respond, just got back into position as the final piglet climbed up onto the stage. Just as before, Miyoshi's strikes and dodges were deft and well-timed. Perhaps because this piglet had seen what had happened to his compatriot, Miyoshi couldn't manage to land a hit. It was looking like a stalemate until I noticed something. Wait, is Miyoshi kind of wavering?
スタミナ切れか。
早っ
Piglet chose that moment to throw out an almost lazy kick at Miyoshi's stomach. Miyoshi bent over his stomach, and the piglet wasted no time in reaching for the star on his shoulder. Miyoshi! He dived into the side and rolled out of the way of the attack and right off the stage. Well. Useless. He slammed a fist into the floor.
よくやった。お前のおかげで攻略法が分かった。あとは俺に任せろ。
He balled his hands into fists and glared at the piglet as he stepped up onto the stage. You can do it! It just shoot him. With a grunt, Subaru settled into a fighting stance. His opponent stepped in for an attack, but Subaru slid to the side and the piglet's fist flew past harmlessly. With minimal movement, he expertly avoided the next attack and the next.
この体さばき。剣道か。
What's a card? He tapped his forehead.
警察官になるには警察学校で剣道か柔道を学ぶ必要があるからな。スバルのやつも剣道の段位持ちってわけだ。
Building a stone tower? Okay. Oh? There wasn't anything unnecessary in his movement. He didn't just have training, he was good. He lunged skillfully forward, through the piglet's guard and delivered a hard chop to its neck. Piglet stumbled back as the sound of electricity crackled through the air.
今、返す手で星をついた。
さっきの戦いを見ていて気づいたことがある。
To make you build this one to the fucking moon, at least it feels like it. Okay.
星を狙うあまり動きが単調なんだ。狙われる場所があらかじめ分かっていれば避けることは造作もない。
The piglet crumbled to the floor.
首への強烈な一撃と電流であっという間に KO ですか。
Damn, a lot of good fighters. Subaru sighed and wiped the sweat from his forehead.
格闘コロシアムクリア。
The voice of the announcer echoed through the amphitheater. That was great! Mitarashi had recovered enough to throw Subaru a thumbs up.
ひとまず流星とコウタの回復を待って次に行こう。
Everyone agreed, but as we sat down, the announcer began to speak again.
盾に分かれ政権を目指して進め。その者命を共にする盟友とならん。
There is still a possibility of us fighting each other, I guess. Two doors at the back of the room open. The implication was clear.
恒例のチーム分けか。別々の仕掛けや罠があってどこかでまた合流するんだろう。で、どう分かれる？
さき、一緒に行こ
Okay. As I nodded, he reached out and took a hold of my hand.
なんか怪しくない？なんで手とか繋いでんの？
I mean, we both let go, extremely embarrassed, but it was too late. All eyes were on us.
あら、いつの間に。隅に置けんな。警部ほどの。
いや、だから、これはその。
Wait, does this mean they all think we're together? I felt my heart flutter as I watched him try to explain what was going on. I mean, he never said anything about, oh gosh, but he didn't say no either. No, what am I thinking? This is no time to be worrying about whether he's my boyfriend or not. I squeezed my eyes shut and shook my head to clear it. But I must have been daydreaming longer than I thought because the groups had been decided. Subaru and Shirabe would go with me, and Mitarashi, Wakaza, Miyoshi, and Urabe would be the other team.
よし、合流地点で会おう。おうよ。
We split up and headed to our respective doors. Once through, we found ourselves in a pitch-black hallway.
参ったな。右も左も分かりやしない。
壁に手をつきながら進むぞ。
Right. Oh, I felt Subaru's warm hand wrap around mine.
大丈夫か？
His voice was quiet and close. I could almost feel his breath on my ear. I should say something. As long as I'm with you.
ああ、俺もお前がいれば平気だ。お前を守りたいと思うこの気持ちが俺をより冷静にしてくれる。
How much does he like me? I'm only halfway through to his heart, though. Rip. I felt his grip on my hand tighten. After a few more turns, we saw a dim light somewhere ahead.
あれが次の舞台か。
おそらくそうだろう。行こう。
In front of us was a dimly lit stage with a large screen stretching across the middle. It's kinda creepy in here. There was another set of gloves and shin guards up on the stage. We were going to have to fight again?
円卓の騎士たちよ。王者の証たるエクスカリバーをかけて覇権を争うのだ。
どうやらさっきと仕組みは同じようだが。
敵がいないな。
Maybe they're hiding out there in the darkness.
今回は俺が行こう。
いや、俺が行く。
He held out a hand to stop
さ
Shirabe.
っきの戦いで大体の感覚はつかめた。だが、もし俺が負けたその時には、あなたに全てを託したい。
互いを信頼した上で可能性が高い方を選択するか。お前さんらしいな。よし。
Be careful. As he stepped up onto the stage, the screen flickered to life, displaying an image of a piglet. In front of the piglet, though, was an image of Subaru's back. So I guess he'll be fighting through this monitor instead of in person this time?
センサーか何かで画面の中と連動しているようだな。
Subaru settled into his fighting stance again. The whole game is different. It doesn't have the health bar or the stars.
新しく600ってタイマーが表示されてる。さっきの戦いとは少し違うようだな。
The battle had begun, but the piglet didn't seem to be moving.
なんだ 気が動かないか。
The timer is counting down. Subaru tried another chop at his opponent's neck, but the piglet dodged it easily. He pressed forward with his attack, but the figure on the screen avoided each strike with easy, rhythmic steps. Then suddenly it attacked. Subaru?
Down. おいおい、もしかして今回は触れればそれが全て電流攻撃になるのか。こりゃ下手すると死んじまうぞ。
No. The piglet wasn't waiting for Subaru to get up and lashed out with another attack. He dodged and then countered with an attack of his own.
Down.
Piglet's head snapped back and it fell to the floor. Wait, don't you feel like something's off here?
違和感。
We're fighting each other, yeah. Yeah, I can't quite put my finger on it, but something's wrong. I know it. The time it took me to say that, both Subaru and the piglet hit each other again. Subaru, what am I missing? There's something going on here. You're fighting over that screen. The health gauge is gone, and there's something about the way that piglet moves. It's there. I've almost got it. We're fighting each other through a screen. I need to figure this out. Okay, so this, we're fighting over the screen, right? There isn't a health bar like it was in the last one, but 3 hits were enough to take out even Mitarashi. Weirdest thing is how that piglet is moving. It's really rhythmic. It doesn't seem like a piglet. Yoshi had the kind of rhythmic thing to his fighting earlier. I wonder how the other team is doing. Oh no. Dang it, I can't think of anything. Oh shit. Started to panic, and as I did, any concentration I had was scattered. Subaru took another hit, and this time he didn't get up. Ooh, I fucked up.
諦めるわけにはいかない。
Itarashi's pretty strong. Miyashi has the ninja step, so he should be fine, right? I need to focus on this right now. Ninja step. That's it. The way he moves, it's the ninja step.
なんだって。
Subaru, stop! I think that's
なん
Miyoshi.
だと。
He spun around surprised. Hochstein's voice boomed out across the room, and the piglet on the screen suddenly changed into Miyoshi.
どうなってんだこれ。そんな。
It wasn't just Miyoshi, I could see the entire other team on the other side of the monitor.
ワルドブ、これはどういうことだ。
くそ。俺たち同士で戦わせる気か。
This must be what he meant by testing our bonds. I bit my lip.
くそ、絆を試すどころか踏みにじるような。
そもそも勝者ってのはどうやって決めるんだ。
高熱が復活するごとに少しずつ電圧を上げているんです。多分あと数回で死んじゃうでしょう。
どちらかが死ぬまでだと。
Well, I guess it's happening. Good. That's horrible. Everyone was silent. If we fought, someone would die. If we didn't fight, then the time would run out and it would be game over. We've only got 200 seconds left. There was nothing we could do. This Subaru had been staring down at the floor since Augustein's revelation, but now suddenly he looked up and met my gaze.
Saki, 俺を信じろ。
What?
調べさん、こっちへ来てくれないか。
He leaned over and whispered something into the other man's ear. What are they talking about? I could hear disbelief in his voice, but also a little bit of fear. Shirabe let out a long sigh and nodded. Turned back to the screen and drew himself up.
お前ならきっとこの後もクリアできるだろう。俺を倒して進め。
Oh my gosh, is he crazy? He held out his arms, leaving himself completely open. Chorus of voices from the other side of the screen agreed with him. Subaru, you can't do this! I know he told me to trust him, but I don't see how he can possibly get out of this alive.
やるんだコータ。もうあと1分もない。このままでは全員死ぬ。俺を信じるんだ。こうだ。俺たちはチームだ。
Miyoshi nodded.
を信頼し、力を合わせて危機を乗り越える。大丈夫だ。俺を信じろ。
There are only 20 seconds left. Subaru! His body twitched once horribly and collapsed to the floor in a limp heap.
暗闇コロシアムクリア。
No! I ran toward him and dropped to my knees.
ちょっとだけ。
What? Before waiting for me to comply, Shirabe shoved me aside and tore off Subaru's gloves.
こいつの服を脱がせろ。
Okay. I had no idea what was going on, but Shirabe seemed to have a plan.
俺を信じろ。
I heard his words echo in my head over and over. I do trust him. He's going to shock him with the gloves, like. Just finished removing Subaru's shirt when Augustine finally noticed we were up to something. He yanked the electrode from one of the gloves he'd pulled off and placed it against Subaru's chest.
おい、メオシ。俺が合図したら1、2の3でパンチを打て。
He looked up at Shirabe, confused.
そう助けるぞ。行くぞ。1、2の3。
Just as ordered, he punched the air. Subaru's body twitched. Shirabe pressed his ear to the incautious man's chest.
もう一度だ。1、2の3。 もう一度だ。
Please, Subaru, come back. Some back. I squeezed my eyes shut, but
ダメだろうか。
No. You said you wouldn't die. I opened my eyes and looked at him. He was right. There wasn't any other way, but the chances of his plan actually working out are almost zero. But he still did it to save the rest of us. He just threw his life away for us. Get mad. Took me a moment to realize the screaming voice I heard was my own. Subaru? His eyes fluttered open. Are you okay? I grabbed his hand and he gave me a weak smile. That's right, you can't die. Relief cheers fill the air from both sides of the screen. Oh man, thank goodness. When it had looked like he was really going to die, my heart had felt like it was about to crack in half. I guess I just like him a lot. Like, a lot. I squeezed his hand tighter. There was nothing I could think of to say.
確かルールでは生き残ったチームが先に進めるだったな。クリアアナウンスはもう聞いた。そして目押しもスバルも生き残ってる。俺たちは全員で進むぜ。文句はなかろう。
With a click, his incoherent, angry ranting disappeared.
だいぶ危ない橋を渡ったが、結果オーライだな。迷惑をかけてすまなかった。スバルさんが生きていてくれれば、僕はそれでいい。まったく、無茶しやがって。正直、生きた心地がしませんでしたよ。
本当によかった。
Subaru started to stand up and I rushed to help him. After leaving the Coliseum of Darkness, we found ourselves in a room dominated by a stone with a sword buried in it. Behind the stone was a throne. So that's Excalibur? At that moment, Miyoshi and his group came in through another door. Are you serious? We all laughed and grinned, happy to be together. We headed up to the stone and the sword. Up close, it was big. Really big. Can we really get that thing out of there? As we'd been examining, Mitarashi had just gone ahead and grabbed the sword. Did you find
こ
something?
の剣重くてびくともしねえかと思ったが動くみたいだぜ。
Yeah, you're right. It did look heavy, but when Mitarashi put all his weight against the hilt, it moved a tiny bit.
みんなで引っ張れや持ち上げられるんじゃねえのか。
そんな簡単にいくかな。
まあ試してみても損はないかも。
よし、みんなで抱えるぞ。
We all arranged ourselves around the stone, grabbed the sword, and pulled. Oh, it's heavy.
ああだがなんとか抜き取れそうだ。
After a minute or so grunting and straining, we managed to lift the sword out of the stone and drop it onto the floor.
栄光の玉座クリア。
That's it? What, seriously?
一体何だったんでしょう、この仕掛けは。
まさかとは思うが、ワルドブーの想定ではここにたどり着くのは多くても4人だったはずだ。7人の力で剣を抜きにかかるなんて想像もしていなかったのかもしれないな。
何それ、最後の最後でこれってワルドブーって相当抜けてるね。
まったく拍子抜けだ。
まあ楽でよかったけどね。
はあ、なんかしまんねえな。
We were all grinning.
ステージ7を完全クリア。魔王に謁見する権利を入手しました。
It's actually done? And just like that, we were done with 7 days of deadly games.
さあ、あとはボスを追い詰めるだけだ。
Let's go. We made our way toward the door that shone with brilliant light. As soon as we found ourselves outside of the attraction, Augustine began to speak. I could hear restrained anger in his voice. Then he hung up. We stood at the foot of Castle Hogstein and gazed up at the towers that seemed to scrape the sky.
いよいよ親玉との一騎打ちだぜ。
ああ
Mitarashi's excitement was infectious, and our steps sped up as we headed toward the entrance. The doors swung open with a heavy creak.
油断するな。何が待ち受けているのかわからない。
Right. Slowly, carefully, we stepped inside. We'd been in the castle once before, on the first day, but it felt so long ago. The cage, it's gone. All the hostages, including my uncle, had been in a huge cage in the middle of the room. Where had it gone? He looked dejected.
人質はどこだ。
What?
そんなにあっさり。
Sure enough, in the distance, I could hear the faint sound of police sirens. Had they already heard the hostages had been released?
とりあえずてめえを一発ぶん殴れ。
He charged toward Augustine and we followed. But
なんだこりゃ。
透明の壁
slammed into a wall of glass that surrounded the pig's throne.
手だけやがれ。
He slammed his fist into the glass, but it didn't even shake. Wait! He leapt up from his throne, spun in place, and then disappeared through the curtains behind it. Subaru pulled his gun and took aim at the glass. 3 shots rang out and cracks spiderwebbed across its surface. He slammed bodily into the glass and it shattered, dropping Mitarashi to the floor. Are you okay? We leapt over the glass and took off after Augustine. Whipping through the curtains, we found ourselves in front of an elevator. It only opened on this floor and the very top of the castle. Currently, it was on the top floor. We hit the call button. It's the class trial time.
しかし、ワルド部はなぜ屋上に向かったんでしょう。逃げ場がなくなるだけのような。
待たせだな。
Did you get hurt?
ちょっとばかし傷に応えたが、あいつをとっ捕まえないことには夢に出てきそうだからな。
The elevator finally arrived and we all piled into it. Count Augustine! He spun around panicked. In his hand was a gun. That's not a gun. Drop the no, that's what he said. Augustine's only response was to point the gun at me. What? As he cried out, I heard the gunshot. With nowhere to run, I just stood there, frozen. It felt like time slowed down. Is this it? Am I going to die? A whole different sort of fear washed over me. Not the fear of dying, although that was there. This was the horrible, gut-twisting fear of losing someone I cared about. This was the end. Huh? I thought it would hurt. Was I in shock? Miyoshi! He'd pulled me aside at the last minute. I twisted my head around. In the wall right behind where I'd been standing was a neat bullet hole. He roared and leapt at Augustine, driving his fist into the pig's stomach and throwing him to the ground. Augustine didn't move. I could hear the sound of helicopters approaching, and the police sirens were getting louder as policemen and reporters rushed into the park. It's over. Subaru! You looked at me for a long moment, then turned away. What? Everyone else was smiling and congratulating one another, but Subaru just walked away. What did he mean? I felt sad. It was over and we'd won, but for some reason I couldn't bring myself to feel happy. Are we not, like, unmasking him? What? Morning already. I blinked my eyes open and stretched my arms as far as I could. It's been 3 months, but sometimes I still think I'm in that hotel room when I wake up. Which made a certain sort of sense. After all, it had been an intense week. Of course it would have left a lasting impression. Still, it had been 3 months. Once the story broke, it had swept across the country, but for the most part, we'd been left alone. I heard Subaru did something to get them off our collective backs. Even after we'd gotten out of the park, he hadn't stopped looking out for us. Because of him, we'd been able to go back to our lives without being harassed. Unfortunately, my uncle and the rest of the hostages hadn't been so lucky, and I'd heard there were still TV vans parked outside of his house. Wakasa's gone back to his career, and I hear Miyoshi's picked up a part-time job. Purabe's turned himself in. Mitarashi's back at work, although I heard he's been really getting into video games lately. Shirabe's, well, he's still running down leads. In the end, the whole thing had remained a mystery. I mean, I never guessed that the person in Augustine's costume was just a piglet. What? The piglets are in masks too. Unfortunately, that piglet had been as ignorant of what was really going on as we were, and the real Augustine had escaped. Why did he do all that to us? Who was he? It seemed like he must have been connected to the bus crash in some way, but how, we'd never been able to determine. Later, Shirabe had told us that the piglets all turned out to be just normal people. They had been hypnotized or something and didn't remember anything about what had happened. I wonder how Subaru's doing. After that final day at the park, I hadn't heard from him again. What? I mean, I didn't die. Well, I don't blame you. Anybody could have frozen up in a situation like that. Ugh. Oh gosh, I still get all misty when I just think about it. I think he felt he'd failed me and failed himself, and being around me just reminded him of that failure. I still care for him, but I respect how he feels. I don't want to hurt him any more than he is already. Nonetheless, even if I knew what the right thing was, actually doing it was much harder. I need to cheer up. The Gameatorium was finally being reopened, and I'd made plans to go with Mitarashi, Wakaza, and Miyoshi. I think they're all worried about me. That wasn't fair to them, though, and I knew it. I wiped away my tears and shook my head. I was going to go to the park, have a good time, and forget about all the things that were making me sad. Someday, all of this will be just a memory. I finished getting ready and headed out. Alright, yeah, this is the kind of game where you need to do all routes to actually learn the truth. Which is not happening. Sorry, guys. I know you really want to know. Boo. Hey, Chimpy, how's it going? There's a manga of this? Wow. You gonna let an Otome beat you, David? Yeah, sure. Not well. I mean, it's up to you if you want to talk about it or not, but I hope everything gets better for you, whatever it is. But don't feel like you can't talk about it. Or message me if you want. If you need someone to talk to, you're free to message me. Whatever it is, you don't have to deal with it by yourself. It's been bad for everyone lately. Oh, I wanted to read the truth. But I can't seem to find a great place to read about it. Oh, I'm very sorry for that. Yeah, it's been... I know a lot of people that are sick too, and it's just... I'm very sorry, yeah, it's... I think in this case it feels even worse, because we can't even say proper goodbyes. But never feel like you can't talk about whatever is ailing you. I mean, I like to think that I know a lot of people watch streams to get away from to escape, like as escapism, and I get that, and I do too. But as friends, we also need to be there when things are bad. It's not just pretending everything is okay. What? Why the arrow? Don't worry about it. There is no mood. I'm playing a game no one cares about. There's no mood to ruin. Don't worry about it. I mean, no one in chat... no one in chat cares about the game or whatever. Live in the internet because in real life it's facepalm. My original intent was to see some anime TDs to Leave the Moon, but I see you're still playing this. But Chimpy, let me show you something else. What if it's a guy? I mean, it is anime titties, right? The man boobs. Not as fine as the protagonist, exactly. Exactly. And look, I kissed them. But hey, you go, girl. I don't want you to go. Wait, just a second. I don't want that. Here it is for you. Just for you. Enjoy. Lick it? No. I won't, no. More anime titties. That's a figurine I can get behind, literally too. Yes, I mean, yeah, I guess you can. Yeah, I'm gonna show you that one because the other ones are all grouped up together. That one's easy to get out of the cabinet. Look at damn it. For 1 cent? No. Better investment than what? Than GameStop? I don't think so. Hasn't that been soaring? Did it go down? No, the markets were closed in the weekend, right? The markets closed, right? Am I saying something dumb? Anime titties are always going up. I guess. To the moon, as they say. Exactly. That is what they say. Next game. I don't know what the next game is. I'm playing Ocarina of Time while Siege installs. Nice. But didn't you spend like some time installing that? Now you have to install it again because you got a new computer? What are we playing, guys? I don't know. JRPG. The emo I have works out of the box. Yeah, they all do, I guess. All right, let me try something new. Say goodbye to Sweet Fuse at your side.